Taurus, welcome into your weekly reading. Let's do it. All right, Taurus, welcome into your weekly reading. Taurus, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Venus signs are also included. So glad you are here with me. I'm going to be taking a look at your connection, what's going on in your deep soul connection, twin flame connection. You guys are in separation or a challenge at this time, definitely having difficulty communicating, likely not communicating at all, which is why you're here looking for guidance and support. So I am your channel for that. Tiana Louise, intuitive coach, Sultant. It is my honor and my pleasure to read for you. I'm going to do something different at the end of this reading. My channel is called Worth a Read because I love books. I always tell my coaching clients before there were coaches, there were books. Books have always been a source of knowledge, wisdom, and support for those on the spiritual path, on the journey of trying to improve themselves. And so I'm going to share a book with you that I think could be helpful for you on your journey. And the passage that I'm going to share with you, Taurus, I came to that passage just as I would a reading, as if I picked a card. So I meditated on your energy, asked Spirit what you needed to know, and then I opened the book. And boom, voila, there was a message there for you. So I will share that at the end of the reading. That will be our little story time. For now, let's look at what's going on in the connection. What's the story of this connection right now? All right. Wow, Two of Wands again. That has been a theme. Death and rebirth. Nine of Cups. Yeah. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Five of Wands energy. So there's been a struggle, there's been a fight, there's been some resistance, some competition, some crabs in a bucket type of mentality fueling this connection. And one or both of you are fatigued from this. I'm getting a sense of a really draining kind of energy that feels like, I just really don't want to keep doing this. I give up. Hands up, don't shoot. I surrender, right? And at the same time, in the surrendering, in all of the chaos, conflict, and the fighting, there's still been failure to reach the end goal, the end result, whatever that looked like for you, the failure to really light the fire of this connection. And that's unfortunate, right? And that has one or both of you really thinking about the next move, thinking about the bigger picture, with some pain and some regret, some nostalgia around what could be, what could have been had only this not happened, had this happened a certain way. Feeling like there's a desire to be rescued here, like waving the white flag, asking for support, saying I can't do this by myself, nor do I want to, right? And this has come as the result of some major shifting, transformation, self-realization. But it came at a cost. It came at a painful cost, having to look one's own shadow in the face. And not only look that shadow in the face, but have the courage to transmute some of the negative energy that was present. This person, or the two people in this connection, have been pushed into change. And I want to say it's been in a process that wasn't entered into willingly. You know, both sides went in kicking and screaming, demanding demanding their cup be filled, right? That's why we have that Nine of Cups here. But you were both forced to give up something. That's how I see this Nine of Cups, having to really give something up for the sake of truth, for the sake of love, for the sake of the connection, and for the sake of your own sanity. Money may have been an issue between you two. May still be. But that Nine of Cups is definitely about abundance for me. But more so of the emotional kind, the inner kind, you know, the things that we feel inside that lead to manifestation on the outside. I want to look at this Two of Wands card a little more, because it just keeps coming up in like every single reading. And I feel like because of the eclipse energy, this eclipse energy is forcing us to look at our past, the things that we feel we've done wrong in the past, the mistakes that we've made, the regrets that we carry, and, you know, choosing between staying where it's comfortable or taking a leap of faith and moving toward new adventures, new horizons, moving outside of what necessarily feels good, you know, in any given moment, so that we can progress forward. And I feel like that's the decision that the two people involved in this connection have been faced with, right? It's like having been through, because this is the death and rebirth card, right? It's not just the death card. I mean, death signifies a rebirth, but I love that on this card it actually says death and rebirth, right? So this is talking about endings and beginnings, which to me suggests cycles, being on the karmic wheel of transformation, right? But it can also symbolize this constant clinging to what was, to the past, you know, having a very sentimental attachment, and a deep mourning of what we feel we've lost, which can definitely throw off our emotional stability, which is where the Nine of Cups comes in. If you hear boom, boom, bang, bang, that's because they are going bananas in my city tonight with fireworks. They have been for weeks now, and tonight it's non-stop, okay? So with this Nine of Cups here, I feel like, you know, we're talking about not only regret and pain, but just, you know, desires unfulfilled, right? It's like throwing these empty cups in the air, literally just tossing them to the universe. I'm done with this. I can't, right? It's like the things that have not manifested. And with this Five of Wands here, it makes sense, because there's really not much that can manifest in the world of lack, which is what this Five of Wands represents, okay? This is about, you know, fighting amongst ourselves, fighting within ourselves, fighting within our own spirit, and always having a sense of there being competition, resistance. And with it coming out with this Eight of Swords card here. To me, this is about, you know, feeling like there's nothing you can do about it either, feeling trapped in this energy. So I want to get some oracle cards to look at, Taurus, exactly what this means for where you and this person are. So we have understanding. We have pause. And we have big dreams. Yeah, I had a sense that this is about, you know, strong desires wanting to be manifested, something to do with abundance. And I feel like right now things are at a standstill as this rebirth, this death, this ending. Things can come to a close and begin anew from a new place, with a new understanding in place. And we'll look at what that understanding needs to look like, or is, you know, what the energy is suggesting it should look like. But it's definitely not this Five of Wands energy here. I feel like someone is really focused in the material world, and it has them energetically just tied up, unable to see anything else, even themselves right now. It's like they just keep chasing after this carrot right here, and that's all they can think about. That's all they can really focus on. And look at what else is here. Nine of Pentacles. You know what that's about. It's about manifesting those coins. That's about, you know, money. That's about material wealth. That's about personal achievement and fulfillment. And so that's where this connection keeps getting stuck, Taurus, at this place, because this person keeps reaching and reaching and reaching toward this, right? And so that's why things have had to be put on hold as they regroup and look at what their next move is in terms of their career, their abundance. I feel like this is a, you know, a workaholic type energy, right? Very focused on material success and willing to put anything on hold that would get in the way of it, right? So why don't we do this? Why don't we look at their energy versus your energy right now? I feel like, you know, just intuitively, Taurus, you want to create peace. You want to see peace inside of this person. Right now, they feel really unsettled, really scattered, and obsessively focused on this dream they're wanting to manifest. Yeah, so here's your energy. You're in this love energy. So really compassionate energy. Really having a lot of compassion and love for another individual. And for them, let's see where they are. So you're focused on the connection, very much so. Something you hold near and dear to your heart. And, you know, I'll just say this flipped out right here. Deceit. This is, you know, the devil card, being obsessively, compulsively tied to the material world and what it is we can achieve, and being addicted to that. And then we have the healer of ages. I feel like this person is being called to release some of this intense energy they have about being successful. I feel like this person is very hung up on being successful and feeling like nothing else can work out for them until this happens. It's like they've, you know, made a deal with the devil, so to speak. that they will just focus on this. And it's like, you know, the serving of the two masters here. Look at that. It's like, which master are you going to serve? You know, you can serve the world or you can serve your soul. And that's what they're battling here, right? And there's a resurrection that has to take place in order for them to come out of that. So let's look at the biggest challenges, the biggest blocks between you and this person at this time. We'll jump on over to the extended reading to do that. We'll look at the challenges, the blocks, how to move past it, and any messages that come through from them to you. Because I sense they don't necessarily feel good about this either. They don't feel good about a lot of things in their lives right now. And they definitely don't feel good about the way they've put this connection on hold, on the back burner. So we'll look at all of that in the extended reading, but Taurus, before we do that, I want to share with you this book right here that's totally worth the read. It's called The Alchemy of the Heart, How to Give and Receive More Love. It's written by a woman named Elizabeth Clare Prophet. She's a twin flame. She's written a book about twin flames, and she's written a number of books that I've read through, and I wanted to share this one in particular with you today around this reading. So like I said, I meditated on the book, asked Spirit, what did Taurus need to know? What passage in this book could help propel Taurus forward on Taurus's journey in relation to the messages you received tonight. And I opened to a random page, and I said tonight because it's nighttime for me, but maybe it's not for you. I opened the book to a random page, Taurus, and it opened up to page 148. And I love what came out. A section called Heart Perspectives, okay? And from the heart perspective, it has 3 tips for you around how to see things from your heart, which, given what has come out in this reading, I think could be very helpful, because this person is clearly on their own path, on their own journey outside of this connection that they really have to work through. And that could be painful for you. So from a heart perspective, the first tip they offer is to depersonalize what seems personal. When faced with a challenging situation, step back and ask your heart, what is the real cause of another's anger, irritation, or dislike that seems to be directed at you, but is really symptomatic of a deeper, and I can never say this word, oh my God, it's gonna kill me. I'm gonna actually Google the word malaise. Oh my God, I know the word. What is the word, Spirit? Oh God. Okay. It is malaise. I always want to say malaise like mayonnaise. Malaise. So the first tip is to depersonalize what seems personal. When faced with a challenging situation, step back and ask your heart, what is the real cause of another's anger? What is the real cause of their irritation or dislike that seems to be directed at you? And while it may seem to be directed at you, is it really? Or is it really symptomatic of a deeper malaise? Rather than react to the symptom, act from your heart to try and help heal the cause of their upset, right? And you can do this just by simply recognizing the power in the other human being, because when people respond negatively, when they respond in anger, when they respond with criticism or just in a negative way, they are in a place where they need to fully access their own power. And so they're using those emotions, they're masking this need to tap into their own power with these, negative responses, negative reactions and emotions. And simply acknowledging the fact that they have power sometimes can be helpful. Matt Kahn, spiritual teacher, has a very popular channel on YouTube, talks about how he will literally say to someone, if he's in line at the store and the clerk is being rude to him or is irritated when it's his turn to come up to the counter, or if he's in an argument with someone, he will either say out loud or in his head, "I acknowledge your power." And he says every single time he does that, it quells the situation. It shifts, the energy shifts, right? Because you're not only offering a healing for yourself in that moment so that you could, immediately calm yourself and stay present, but you're also offering a healing for this other person, acknowledging them, seeing them, and recognizing them as a powerful human being, fellow human being. Sometimes that helps. And it helps to just simply depersonalize the situation, because you realize this person is just so forcefully attempting to tap into their divine beingness, their power and authority, their divine power and authority. Okay, so tip number 2, draw boundaries when necessary. Is there a situation in your life or a toxic relationship that is draining your energy? Is this relationship or life situation trying to get you to act in unloving ways? How can you draw loving boundaries in this situation? Something to think about here, right? Because this is where you are. And if this is where you are and this person is teetering between this and this, you're going to have to set some boundaries, right? Because you're here. This is where you are. This is where you live, and you don't want to shift from this. But in dealing with outside influences that may not be in the same place, it can be easy to come out of character if you don't draw boundaries. And with that 5 of Wands here, we already see the invitation is there. So the third tip, it says to enhance your spiritual protection, which is very important when you want to draw healthy boundaries from a healthy place. You got to meditate on the white light, right? It says you can summon the protective white light with the following tube of light affirmation. The tube of light is a shield of energy that descends from God through your higher self in answer to your call. It's best to give the affirmation each morning before the hustle and bustle of your day starts, right? And preferably to give it 3 times. And then if throughout the day you feel de-energized, you feel depleted, or you feel vulnerable, then you just retreat for a few minutes and you repeat the affirmation. And the affirmation is, beloved, I am presence bright. Round me, seal your tube of light. From ascended master flame, call forth now in God's own name. Let it keep my temple free from all discord sent to me. I am calling forth violet fire to blaze and transmute all desire, keeping on in freedom's name till I am one with the violet flame. So I think that's really beautiful, and I think the white light meditation as well as the violet flame meditations are really important. Now, you may not say that whole affirmation. That's a good one to post up somewhere in your house and meditate on it in the morning and the night. I like to keep my affirmations on my phone so I can always, and prayers, so I can always tune into them. But a simple one, if you just want to have one to help fight things off as you're doing your white light meditation, because you can do that with your eyes closed, right? All you have to do is imagine white light surrounding you. The one that I like, that I say often, is, I cast this burden on the Christ within so I can be free to have plenty. And I imagine myself being shielded from all burdens of the world, all burdens of circumstances, all burdens of negative feelings and thoughts. And it works for me. So those are your messages, Taurus. And we are going to jump on over to the extended. You can get that link down below in the description box. And we will continue moving forward. I'll see you over there. Peace.